Hello, here's another story about I guess about the times that we're living in now. Just listen to the story and compare it to current events and see if there's any connection. This story was done back in 2025, so it's about 16 months. Yeah, 16, maybe a little older, maybe younger. So see how it connects with today's events. In the shattered underbellies of a fractured America, with the air hummed with the distant crackle of gunfire and the ash-rich scent of burning cities, chaos reigned supreme. It was October of 2025, and the once United States had splintered into warring factions. Ideological rifts turned to open civil war, pitting neighbor against neighbor in a brutal scramble for power and resources. The federal government was a ghost. Its ren- remnants holed up in fortified bunkers, while militants roamed the ruins, enforcing their own twisted laws. Among this turmoil, whispers spread like wildfire. China was coming, not with boots on the ground, but with an unstoppable tide of silicone and steel, robotic legions, drone swarms, and auto nomadic war machines programmed for conquest. They crossed the Pacific under the cover of satellite blackouts, the circus immune to the pleas of humanity. That's all it takes is one command: destroy humanity. And the AIs would take that and go with it. Get back to the story. In the heart of this apocalypse stood one estate, a compound in the foothills that had once been a billionaire's retreat. Now it was a beacon of defiance, led by Ellis Thorne, a recluse inventor who foreseen the collapse years ago. Thorne wasn't a soldier, he was a tinker, a man who spent his fortune on wild experiments in electric, magnetic, and ballistics. While the world burned, he and a small team of survivors has been perfecting something revolutionary: EMP bullets, not your standard ammunition. These were precise engineered rounds, tipped with manufactured, miniaturized, miniaturized pulse generator that could fry electronics on impact without the collateral damage of a full-scale electric magnetic bomb. A single shot could disable a drone mid-flight, short-circuit a robot's neonet, or turn an enemy's vehicle into a lifeless hunk of metal. The story began on a fog-shrouded dawn when scouts from one estate spotted the first wave. Chinese robo-troops, sleek, quadrupedal hunters with glowing sensors and razor limbs, marching through the valleys. Their advance heralded by the whine of aerial scouts. Their invaders, the, the invaders moved with eerie precision, coordinating via quantum encrypted networks that laughed at conventional jamming. Local military had tried to fight back with rifles and RPGs, but the machine adapted, self-repairing and multiplying like a virus. Bullets bounced off armor chassis. Explosives barely scratched their adaptive shields. Panic spread as reports flooded in. Entire towns silent overnight. Their defenders reduced to ash by plasma cannons. Ellis Thorne watched from his command center. A canvas, a cavernous room lined with humming servos and prototype weapons. "They're not invincible," he muttered to his second in command, a former Marine named Kara Voss. "They bleed circus." Kara nodded, loading a clip of the EMP rounds into her modified AR-15. The bullets gleamed under the fluorescent lights, each one a compact marvel, with a capability core that discharges on penetration, unleashing a target surge capable of overwhelming even hardened military-grade electronics. The ambush was set in a narrow pass, where the terrain funneled the tunnels into a kill zone. Thorne's team, 2 dozen ragtag fighters armed with the new ammo, hid among the rocks, hearts pounding as a maniacal horde approaches. The lead robot, a towering bipedal enforcer, scanned the area with infrared eyes, his servos whirling softly. Kara took the first shot. The EMP bullet streaked through the mist, embedded in the machine's chest plate. For a split second, nothing happened. Then a faint crackle echoed, and the robot spasmed, light flickering, limbs locking up as the systems overloaded. It toppled like a fallen tree, sparks erupting from every joint. Chaos erupted. The robots propelled, weapons charging, but Thorne's crew unleashed a barrage. EMP rounds punched through armor, turning the invaders into shattering wrecks. Drones plummeted from the sky, their rotors seizing mad havoc. A massive tank bot ground to a halt, its turrets dripping uselessly as its internal computers fried. The air filled with the acid smell of melting silicone, and the triumphant whoops of the defenders. For the first time in months, hope flickered in the darkness. Where's John Connor when you need him? Word of the victory spread like virus through the fractured networks of the resistance. One estate became a legend. Its EMP ball is the holy grail of the war. Runners carry blueprints and samples to align fractions, teaching them to fabricate the rounds in hidden workshops. China adapted, of course, deploying shared prototypes and EMP hardened swarms, but Thorne was always one step ahead. Irritated on his designs with captured Aerated on his designs with captured tech and underground labs he dreamed of scaling up. EMP grenades, artillery cells, even aerial bullets to blanket entire battlefields. But victory came at a cost. As the Civil War raged on, betrayal lurked within. A rival fraction, envy of Thorne's power, raided one estate under the cover of night, seeking to claim the technology for themselves. Kara fell in the defense, her last words a defiant curse. Thorne escaped with a handful of prototypes, vanishing into the wilderness to rebuild. The invasion pressed on, robots clashing with humans in a dance of destruction. In the end, it wasn't just about bullets, it was about the spark of defiance in a world gone mad. And as long as one estate legacy endured, America just might claw its way back from the brink. Well, if you like that story, I recall this story, Civil War. It kind of goes with the way it's going, but let me know if you like the story. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you.